So today we're at RC Engineering. We're dropping off some injectors for 3 motors. So we have 12 injectors we need to drop off. All 3 SR20 VE stock 333cc injectors that we're dropping off. One for Sergio's motor, one for Robert's motor, and one for my friend Adil Carr's motor. We're doing a swap in his P10 at the moment. So it's definitely a good idea to bring your injectors and get them done here at RC Engineering, now known as RC Fuel Injection. I'll put all their information down below in the description of the video. But we wanted to go ahead and do it because it's a great idea to go ahead and do something like this for your injector, for your motor. If you're buying a motor from Japan, if you plan on swapping it in your car, you don't know how long those injectors have been sitting, you don't know how long those injectors have been ran, you don't know what kind of fuel was ran in them. So it's a good, cheap insurance to go ahead and get them done here at RC Engineering, have them cleaned, gone through. They send them back to you with new O-rings, new caps, and everything. And they actually give you a little report as well, before and after flow testing them for you guys. So definitely do that, and I appreciate you guys watching this channel. Subscribe, like, and keep following. So we'll have more giveaways to come too. I haven't thought about what the next one's gonna be, but it's gonna be good either way. Somebody's gonna get something good for free. So let's go ahead and get inside. We're taking the secret tour inside of RC Engineering. For you guys to know, this is the man here, Keoke. Nice to meet you, sir. And you are, who runs RC Engineering with your brother, right?
I'm the senior service technician.
Senior service tech, all right.
And my brother Wayne, he's a machinist that does all like the modifying for injectors.
Cool.
So we usually do custom applications, from anything, motorcycles, boats, cars, a lot of recreational vehicles that are out there, snowmobiles, things like that. Our founder is Russ Collins. That's why it's called RC Fuel Injection.
Okay. So when we bring injectors to you guys, and I know I've had a lot of friends that mail them to you guys, what's the first step you guys do usually in cleaning the injector?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll do a visual inspection of the injectors themselves first.
Now, is there something specific you're looking for? Maybe like broken cap?
Yeah, broken caps. Let's see, if there's any kind of damage to the O-rings or things like that. Sometimes people, yanked them out of the car.
Yeah.
Connectors will be broken or something along those lines like that. That's like the first thing we'll, do. These look all right though. Other than that, it's kind of just worn out. Yeah, and then the next thing we'll do is we'll do I'll check it for its resistance using a voltmeter, and I'll test ohms. For these on a Nissan, it should be either between like 11.5 to like 12.5 ohms. So yeah, right there. So we'll test it right there. It should be like that, like 11 and see like 11.5, 11.6 ohms.
Right.
They should all read about the same like that. If you're getting one where it's like reading out of limits, or maybe like at 300 ohms, that's usually a bad injector. Usually I even suggest the customer, if they do have like a voltmeter or a multimeter, check for this.
I'll check them before they send them out, just to make sure.
Yeah, it's a common problem with some of the Nissan ones, especially the turbo models.
Okay.
That actually, the coils will unwind on it.
Okay. So it's good to check resistance on your injectors before sending them out, just in case.
Yeah, because that might be your issue. If they're actually throwing like an injector code, that might be what's causing it. Because what will happen with the computer is that it'll compensate for it. And so even if you have a dead injector, it'll enrich in the other 3 so you can still run.
Right, okay.
But
kind of like a limp mode of sorts.
And then you'll get a check engine light, and and like say you go through it with a scanning tool, and it says that there's an issue on one of the injectors. Well, one of them could be burnt out. Or there might be something else, like one of the wirings had gotten, if it's like especially on an older car, that's usually what happens. Those things vulcanize, and they just get old and they break. Yeah, same thing can happen with the injector. The O-rings here, over time, those things will vulcanize as well. And that might be what's causing you to have issues with it, whether it be like a loss of fuel or any things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so from here, after a visual inspection, what's usually phase 2 of the process?
We'll actually go and do a before test.
Okay.
We'll test it and to see where they're actually flowing.
Okay.
And then after that, if it does need to be cleaned, put it in the ultrasound Just looking at these ones here, the filters are kind of dirty. You know, just doing that will clean that off for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We have it right here with the version, which is just it's a pulsing injector, clicking them on and off. That's
Okay.
That little clicking noise.
Okay, yeah, I hear them go ahead and cycling.
Yeah, and that's what cleans the injectors. You know, it's like a doctor, like a jewelry cleaner.
Oh, nice.
That agitates all of the, you know, like the dirt. So I'm just gonna put on the pump, and you'll see it go up here.
Oh, okay, I see you doing. Yeah.
Right. And so what I'm looking for here is that we actually got fuel going in here, and it's at 43 psi.
Okay.
What I'm trying to see is whether or not it's going to just start dripping down. If fuel's starting to drip down over there,
then you have a leaky injector.
right off the bat. You know, and then what we'll do here is we'll do a 1 minute test here. I'll open it up. Right now it's pulsing right there, actually. Let me get that up then for you. So normally in your car, it'll be running like this. Like say, I would say, usually like about an 80, it'd be like 80-85% duty cycle.
Okay. Oh wow, so it even simulates
Yeah, that's
engine
all.
RPM,
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, there's a electromotive, we have an electromotive computer, and it's hooked up to it. So you get RPMs, which usually you're going to be running at is about maybe about
80% duty cycle.
80% duty cycle. So the pulse width at 8 and at 100 hertz, that's 80% duty cycle right
Wow,
there.
that's pretty cool.
And it's 6,000 RPMs. So you're like open all the way, you know.
Right.
That's what it's going to be running. It's going to pulse like that as it's going down in the fuel. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, normally for a test though, we'll do a static wide open.
Okay.
Because that's the industry standard. And so that'll just be at 100% duty cycle, it won't be pulsing.
Okay.
So let me take it there. Okay, so you hear it isn't buzzing anymore.
Yeah, it's no longer pulsing, yeah.
Yeah, so I got nothing up there either.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this will be like wide open. And so we'll do it for this is a 1 minute test at 43 psi or like 3 bar pressure.
Okay.
So we're just gonna find out what it should be. You know, you said it's like about like 233.
333? Yeah.
333?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 333, it should be around there.
Okay, so it'll fill up to about...
Yeah, each of these lines here, down here, it's 100.
Okay, so it should be around 333 cc's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you got it.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just right under,
340, about right there, right under there.
Yeah, right
Here's
below 333.
Yeah, here's 400, and then down here is 350, and then just right below it. So it's about right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, 340, about 330.
So that injector, that's how you know how much it's flowing for sure. Okay, perfect.
For sure.
So that's a pretty decent injector so far.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign. Yeah, and then we'll go through the whole process with each of the injectors and see where they're at. A common thing we'll see is that it'll just it makes drip still under pressure. What I'll do is let it sit there for a second, you know, to see if it just keeps letting
dripping,
the flow come down.
Okay.
You know, that's usually a lot of cases. A lot of them we have is guys running like E85 or methanol or race gas. If they let it sit there for a while, that's what causes it up.
Okay.
Because they're not running it that long. You know, it's kind of like if you had like a lawnmower where you're not running it, it's gonna jam up. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
So you know, we get a lot of cases of that. You know, like that. Yeah.
So from here, that injector would be submitted to what test next?
What we do is actually I would test the other ones. You know, and then we'll actually write it down, and we have a report, you know, that we'll do for before the cleaning. Yeah,
you give us the before and after. Yeah, right, I appreciate that for sure.
We'll take it over here and then put it in the ultrasound. You know, and then we'll run it. Depends on, you know, how the injectors are. If they're really jammed up, you know, it could take all day. That's usually why we ask that people come back.
Right.
Not to mention we're really busy.
No. Thank you for even letting me come and do this.
Oh yeah. The other thing is that we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll run it in there, and then we'll go back here and run it again. And like you said, it should be like all around like 333, 35.
Yeah.
We'll get it, you know, make sure that they're all like that, you know, running across even.
You got it.
You know, that way. Not to mention checking for like spray patterns. A lot of times you get ones where it's deflected or not, you know, flowing correctly. That can happen in a lot of instances. I can show you on the other one.
Okay, yeah. We'll use his injectors as a test.
Yeah.
So we're testing these injectors at 40 psi. How long is the test
43
for?
psi.
43
yeah.
psi?
Or 3 bar pressure, and testing it for 1 minute here.
Okay. And this one also, it'll give you how many cc's it's flowing as well.
Yeah,
basically
that's correct,
after a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get to see the spray patterns here as well, right? Like if any of them are spraying incorrectly or.
Yeah.
Now I see some of them dripping a little bit from the top. Is that just like a normal thing, or?
Yeah, we'll see as it fills up. Once it stops, whether or not they're even across the board. Now, like you see, this one's not even opening up right here.
Yeah.
So this is where he's having an issue. This one's clogged up completely.
Oh, okay.
And they should be even across the board too.
Right. So by the end of the test, you'll see, of course, which one is either flowing not enough or too low. So you see these two are lower for sure.
Right.
And that one didn't even flow. Number 3 didn't flow at all.
Right. Yeah. And then, so that's what we'll go through. We'll go through the cleaning of it. Usually what we do with those is we'll pull the filters out, and then I'll put it over there in the ultrasound to get everything, and clean them out.
Awesome.
And then we'll go through the whole testing process until it's actually clean. They should be like that right here, around 310 for these injectors here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Now, what are the benefits of actually having your injectors clean? What is one of the main benefits that people see from sending their injectors to you guys and definitely having you guys do the service?
Better gas mileage. If it's stuck like that, there's definitely.
You're gonna be running on 4 cylinders instead of 3 right there. Right.
Sure. Usually, just better where it's running, like idling and things like that. Or sometimes we have issues where they're trying to troubleshoot. It's having an issue with it at a certain RPM.
It might be breaking up or something like that, right?
Or in like a worst case scenario, if there's like dirt or anything like that or debris, it won't be flowing correctly.
Right.
Like it'll be like maybe a straight line and not a cone of fuel coming out. There's all kinds of issues like that. We do all of them too. We do direct injection too, like the newer stuff out there.
So better gas mileage.
Yeah.
It's probably robbing you. Of course, it's robbing you of horsepower if you're that guy that's running 3 cylinders.
Yes.
So gaining all your horsepower and even flow of your injectors throughout your whole, RPM band, pretty much.
Yes.
Very important, especially for the turbo guys. For detonation issues or if they're short on fuel anywhere in that band, they might blow up their engine.
This would cause this could blow up the piston.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So you said you have some Ferrari injectors being cleaned right now, and those are in there for how long?
Like I said, it depends on. Well, that one right there, particularly, we had a few that were closed. Probably would run it on that. Could be like an hour. Might be as long as like 5 hours.
Oh wow! Depending on the injector.
Depends on the injector too.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times with the Ferrari guys that are collectors, they don't turn on their car on and off.
They just sit for quite some time.
Yeah, they sit for they might sit 2-3 years. So usually we recommend them to go through and clean them.
Right.
For that.
So it's a good thing that if you have a sports car, you should drive it, or at least turn it on from time to time, just to make sure everything's running in order.
That's the thing. Like we don't, like a daily driven car, a person driving it all the time. Usually, we don't ever recommend them that they need to get their injectors cleaned. It's usually the cases where they've sat for a while, or they're like strictly a race vehicle, or something along those lines.
Right.
Like if you're running it constantly and you take care of the car, you shouldn't have an injector issue.
Right. That is. I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah. And then the secondary one would be if it's the age of the car. Like if it's like 20 years old or something like that, 15 years old. The O-rings on there, they'll vulcanize, and what's going to happen is you're going to get where it's just the O-rings are just too hard, like they're rocks.
Yeah, they just harden up.
Yeah,
right.
And you'll get fuel that passes through them or something like that, and that can cause your issue like that.
Okay. Yeah. So the vulcanization is definitely a new term I've heard today. I had never heard of that, but I didn't know there was a term for the O-rings hardening. But yeah, that's that's the first time I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
But hey, you learn something new every day, so I appreciate that. That's definitely something new for me. So after they get taken into the cleaning, from there on you bench test them again, you flow test them again, and then you guys send out that before and after report with the injectors.
Right.
And then your customer has smiles for days because now their injectors are working and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So like for my 3 sets of injectors, let's say I send you 1 set of 4 injectors, how long is usually the turnaround for something like that for the people?
1 day.
About 1 day?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you ship them out, you probably ship them out the next day when you guys are done with them, right?
If we're lucky and it gets here early enough, we can probably ship it that same day.
So you got some work cut out for you if I just dropped off 12, right? That's about a day or 2, right?
Yeah, I would have it ready by tomorrow, but yeah.
That's why I come back, man. You guys are awesome, man. So again, Keoke, I appreciate you having me.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate the service you guys do. Again, I will be coming back with more injectors because now I'm sure all my friends are going to want to do it because I did it. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your service, and thanks, Mark, over at the front desk for always helping me out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
All right, so we're done. Dropped them off. They're in good hands with Keoke and the guys here at RC Injectors. So again, good idea for you guys to do this. Cheap insurance for you guys to do this. Definitely, if you're planning on swapping an engine, or if you have a car with a JDM motor or USDM motor and it's high performance motor, you guys have been running it for quite some time, it's definitely good for you guys to do something like this. It's cheap insurance. It's a good thing to do. It's not that expensive. So, by the way, thank you guys for liking and subscribing all my other videos. I wasn't expecting this, but we're almost at 200 subscribers, so it's almost time for another giveaway. Well, from here, these injectors are going off to Fontana. We're gonna go out and meet up with Rob, and once we meet up with him, I'll be able to go ahead and give him the injectors that we need for Adio Car's motor that we'll be finishing the swap on. And I think I need to do something else in Fontana. I need to pick up some wheels. That's what I need to do. So I'll have you guys follow me along to that. I have some wheels waiting for me in Fontana. So I'll pick those up. You guys will follow me. And thanks for liking and subscribing to all my other videos. So do the same for this one. Peace.